Shadowboxing is a training exercise that involves throwing punches at an invisible opponent. Fighters unleash a barrage of punches in front of a mirror, ducking and dodging imaginary counter-strikes, and this helps them build stamina for their next bout. You know, I've always enjoyed watching fighters shadowbox, but honestly, y'all, I've never actually been in a fight in my life. But while that's true, I am used to throwing punches at the parts of myself that I can't see. I've been working on my combinations lately. Jab, jab, left hook, cross, jab, right hook, uppercut, cross, swing. Whenever there's something on my mind that can start an argument, I usually say nothing, swing. I look at the accomplishments of my friends and compare them to my own, swing. I see their lives and wonder where mine went wrong, swing. I've been practicing since I was 13. I've been getting really good lately and I don't miss often, but the target I can't ever seem to hit is the relationship with my dad. I haven't seen him in over 2 years, so he's the perfect invisible opponent. And lately, I've been turning his phone calls into counter-strikes. I've been dodging them because it hurts too much to speak to someone I love that I no longer recognize. Standing at 6'1" tall, his accomplishments were always golden gloves I admired but could never fit onto my own hands. He had a mind sharp enough to help him integrate a private boarding school in the South, achieve an undergraduate degree from Brown University, and a doctorate from Duke. As a black man, he gave our family a life most thought was reserved for athletes and entertainers, but 2 divorces, the death of his mother, and a failed business venture proved to be too many blows to his psyche. He eventually lost his doctor's license, he lost his home, he lost his fortune, and shortly after that, he lost his mind. And he hasn't picked himself up from the canvas since. And as the referee's count approaches 10, I'm afraid, because I know he's a fighter, but I don't know if he's Apollo or Rocky. I don't know if he's Mayweather or Tyson. I do know that when he attributed his struggles as a quest for enlightenment, I tried to defend his actions. But when he told me that God was telling him to smoke crack, I had to throw in the towel on that part of our relationship. You see, this is where my true shadowboxing session begins, because so much of who he is resides in me. I'm terrified I'll end up the same way, alienated from my friends and family, turning to hard drugs, betraying the woman I love, and losing grip on reality. You see, there's a time in our parents' life when they transform from caregivers to the ones who need it the most, from the deities who brought us life to the demons who reflect our trauma. I moved to California to live my dream, but I have nightmares of losing the man who taught me how to in the first place. He was always in my corner, patching up the cuts from the mistakes I made, giving me encouragement to win this fight we call living in America, and pushing me to get back into the ring. But there are days when I am not interested in getting to know the man he is now, because I miss so much of who he used to be, and I'm afraid that his voice on the other end of the phone will one day become my own. But another thing he blessed me with, y'all, is resilience. And our youth refuse to lose hope that one day he won't reach for the ropes, pick himself up, and get back into the fight where he was the only opponent. When I was young, my dad let me punch him in the stomach. And I remember giving the punch everything that I had. You know, he shrugged it off at the time. But the next day, y'all, he was in some serious pain. And ever since then, he nicknamed my strike the Tomorrow Punch. So you see, Dad, while these words may not hit you today, just know that tomorrow is something I pray for, because tomorrow can bring redemption, tomorrow can bring connection, and tomorrow we can both keep fighting.